I can't do it. Hi guys, welcome to the only episode of Through the Glass Table. I'm Everett.
And I'm Izzy.
He's sick. And today we bring back a very special guest who's been on our show more times than most people, which means we like him. I'm Dave.
Hey.
And today...
What?
And today we'll be reviewing...
Oh, I'm sorry. And today we're going to be reviewing Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Well, it's that season again, and the holidays brings another Star Wars movie. This time, however, we have the vision of Rian Johnson with Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Blah, 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 Luke Skywalker, blah, 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 Leia, blah, 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 or some Mexican guy. Alright, man, like, it's safe to say that this is all we've been waiting for this entire year. Would you say that? Like the highest?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one thing I look forward to this year. So
I can't think of any movie that I was anticipating more than this movie. And I am, I hate to jump ahead, but I am wholly satisfied.
Wholly satisfied.
But like we always do in our reviews, I'll start off by asking Ismael, what did you think of Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
Now look, I'm a big old fanboy of Star Wars. So I had no expectations going into this film. And this film, just the way it was structured, everything blew me away.
And before we move ahead, let's just say we won't be saying any spoilers. This is a no spoiler review. We'll probably do a more in-depth review next week. But yeah, I have to agree with you. It was fantastic. What did you think?
I fucking loved it, man. I loved it. I'm probably drinking the Star Wars Kool-Aid too. So
Yeah.
I loved it, man.
One of the parts that I'll say is it's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
And it's a lot to process, but I still walked out like, oh, this is everything that I wanted.
I felt like this is probably the most heaviest material of the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because Empire, when it's revealed that Luke is Vader's son, was like heavy. But this one just had so many fucking layers.
It changes your view of certain characters, or not. If not your view, it just like, oh, you are just a guy, you know.
Yeah, it shows the flaws of humanity of the individual.
Oh. I liked it. It was surprisingly really funny. I was not expecting that. There was a lot of comedy in it. I thought for a little bit I was like, it's a little too heavy on the comedy, and then they cut it off and like they changed it up, and I was like, all right. Like,
overall, I would have to say this is probably for me the most different Star Wars movie in the main trilogy. I can't. You know how when we watched Force Awakens, it was its own thing, but you could still kind of say, oh yeah, that's like that part that happened.
Exactly, that was one of the big problems that people had with it.
Which you said in the car, you feel like they addressed those issues, and I think one of those issues is that this is totally original.
I felt like there was a couple things that they were still kind of going back to. Like there were certain scenes I was like, this is kind of what happened in Empire Strikes Back. Like kind of like you can see like similarities, I want to say, but they kind of changed up a few things. But that was like, man, I thought there was a lot of Easter eggs too, like little things, like, you know, here and there that they kept on going back to.
I think that's you can't escape from that though. When it's such a big franchise like Star Wars, there's always going to be like callbacks to at least one little thing or you know, several little things, because that's like what helps make the heart of the movie. It's like you're recognizing something from your past in the new one, but it's on a different wavelength in this film. Like, it's not the center of attention like I think it was in Force Awakens.
Yeah. Or even clumsily in Rogue One, where the guys from the cantina are walking.
Right, where it's forced down our throat. Yeah.
So Rian Johnson directed this movie. He's directed films such as Looper, and I don't know what else.
Oh, he's the one that did Looper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did Looper. That's where I know him from. Oh, okay. He did one other movie, In Bruges or something like that.
Oh, In Bruges with Colin Farrell, I think it is?
Yeah.
Still haven't seen that one, but I heard it.
Never seen it.
I heard that was a good movie.
What did you think of his direction, guys?
I liked it. I really liked it. It was cool. It was nicely done. And I thought there was a nice mix of like CGI and like not CGI, like special effects and stuff like that. They weren't really relying, or I felt like they weren't really relying on special effects to get their point across.
There were some scenes where the CGI was like a little like
wishy-washy.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? But for the most part, I agree with you. It was integrated well. I think too, he had a clear vision, and it's his movie, if that makes sense. Like,
it felt a lot different from Force Awakens.
Whereas JJ has a tendency to just be not generic because I like his direction, but he's just like Spielberg mixed with yada yada mixed with 80s director yada yada. Whereas like it is his own style, but it's a hodgepodge of things. This one felt wholly like his movie.
I also feel like just the setup of some certain scenes had a more intimate nature in this one than in with Force Awakens. Force Awakens felt like it was more, let me give you the backdrop, let me show you everybody. This one had a lot of more close-ups that showed like, because the characters had to interact in a certain way, like from distances and stuff, so he relied on showing up-close facial expressions to demonstrate like their actual intimate nature or how they're fighting, or so I thought that was really, really well done and well balanced with the beautiful big shots of space and everything. So it was just like, man,
I guess in a way that's kind of like Empire Strikes Back, because Empire Strikes Back is sort of the same thing.
Yeah, I think what Andre was saying, like there's several callbacks to Empire. I think structurally it's probably the bones in there, but it's different.
I'm almost scared to ask, is there anything that you guys didn't like?
Well, I can't go too much in depth without ruining some things, but I could tell you that I know Andre liked the comedy. I liked it too, but I was really, really nervous because it felt like it was a lot going like in the beginning, and it didn't seem balanced, and it seemed more like the slapstick stuff.
Yes.
Like people like
fumbling
and stuff like that. So I was like real nervous, but then he toned it down. I felt like someone pulled him aside and just said, "Stop."
Like we hit our quota. Like all right, now we gotta use it. Every once in a while.
So, Mr. Walker. Fuck you. Let's start let's start off with Andre. Andre, out of 5. What do you give Star Wars: The Last Jedi?
I'll go like 4 out of 5. I mean, 4.5. Do you guys do that?
You can do it.
All right, cool. Yeah. I mean, there's little things that I didn't like, but there were very little minute things that they didn't take me out of the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still gonna watch it like another 3 more times. So right now I'm saying I love it because it's the first time I'm saying it, and I want to see it again, but I'll see after I see it a couple more times to see if it still holds on. But I'm excited about the movie, man. I recommend it. You should watch it.
Wookie?
I'm gonna have to piggyback on Andre and say 4.5.
Okay.
We can't get into detail about the things that I like because we're trying to keep it, not spoilery. But there are some things where I thought were kind of messy, and it stopped it just from being perfect. But it was so close. It was so close to being perfect, and that's why I give it a 4 out of 5.
I give it a 4 out of 5 just because I don't want to copy you guys. And also, like you said, there was like some things that I was just like, oh no. So it wasn't a perfect movie, but it was damn near close to it. So yeah, just fucking Rian Johnson. Who would have thunk,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so confident in his work with this one that they gave him the next trilogy to himself. He's doing all 3 of them, 10, 11, and 12.
Oh, nice.
So
whatever that means. Because we don't even know what that means.
I don't think they know either.
Yeah.
But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this what they're doing with the trilogy right here. Like, they gotten better. Like we said earlier, like they kind of paid attention to everything. Everyone's complaining about certain things, and they fixed them. So.
I get scared of Disney. They just bought Fox. By the time we're reading this, I get scared of them because they have so much property. And it's like, how can you control all of that? But they keep knocking it out of the park.
I think it's because they've gotten really, really good at finding people to do the jobs for them.
True.
So Kathleen Kennedy, even though I heard she's a major headache to work with, she's doing it right. But I think because the fiasco for the Han Solo film, you really have to have a strong director to have the large enough balls to tell her to go fuck away. No. You're producing it, but let me do it. Let me show you what my vision is. And I think JJ and Rian are those 2 pillars that they have right now because they fired Colin. So Trevorrow, that was supposed to be 9. They let him go because and plus I think he couldn't handle it anyway either because I don't like his movies. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining us for this.
And thank you for this guy. Oh, we gotta.
Oh, well, I was in the middle of saying.
Okay, go into it.
Well, thank you guys for joining us on this episode of Through the Glass Table, and also I want to thank Andre Bernardino, one of my closest and bestest friends. for being on the show with us today. His input is always valued here on Through the Glass Table.
Thank you. It's nice to be appreciated.
And fuck the Wookiee. That's what I
want to give him a little basic instinct. Bye, guys.